Animaniacs 2020, Season 1, Episode 12.
Ooh.
Okay.
Uh, isn't she a little young to be getting a zit?
Well, isn't she a little old to be getting a zit for the first time, considering how old the Warners actually are? But,
Yes, but I mean,
but her biological age,
technically a child. And I mean, I thought you don't get zits until you're like
yeah,
you've reached puberty.
yeah, that's where zits really start to come in, and so, I guess Dot's on the precipice of puberty.
Wow, she's an early bloomer or a really late bloomer, but technically a really early bloomer because she's perpetually, what, 6?
I think just everybody's different.
Well, well, I think at this point, trying to match and work with biology with the Warners is just not going to work. I
Fair.
mean, they're monkey puppies.
Papa Monkey Baby.
Oh no, no, no! Don't remind me of that.
Ah, so you know of it.
I know of the puppy monkey baby, and I'm not particularly interested in remembering that.
I have no idea what
It's a
you guys are talking
commercial. It's a
about.
really weird commercial. Yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, so a zit.
That was a fun one. It was a nice little homage to the classic episodes with the musicals.
Yeah. Was it Better Homes? It said, but it says on the Wikipedia Better Homes and Gardens, but it wasn't like Better Homes and Water
Water.
Towers or something like that.
Yeah, it was better something in Water Towers.
Yeah. Which I imagine that sounds to me like it's a trap. It's like, how many people live in water towers? You know, with
True.
as many people live in weird places, like an abandoned water tower or a water tower that's been disused and turned over to being, hey, we'll just sell it off and we're building a new one, so we'll just sell that one off. We'll take all the equipment out of it. Somebody can just use it as living space is not
You know,
too weird.
Bruce Campbell lives in in an old airplane that got turned into like a house.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, same idea. Just like
So I
what's
mean, it's not that weird.
yeah, and how many disused water towers are there? So I mean, if somebody if it was, but then again, if it was so bad that you were going to change, I guess maybe if you wanted more capacity, you could go with building another water tower that's just bigger. But then you could just build a smaller one and just use the old one too. I don't know. It would, but
Unless it got decommissioned for some other reason.
yeah, yeah.
But
There's no telling. I
at
mean, we're
the
going into
same time, there are plenty of problems with making it into an actual abode. Like, first of all, zoning laws with that. Most water towers are on public property.
yeah, but we're
Like,
assuming at
they're
this point the city has sold it off to the
yeah.
person. So zoning is probably not a big problem because they're like,
But
okay, well
no,
you're
I mean
buying it from us
they're
anyway, so
on
here's
public no, but I mean they're on public property,
yeah,
usually around either a park or a mall or or the schools or something like that, where a hospital, somewhere where it might be most needed in an emergency. So
yeah. There's
having, huh?
yeah, good.
So trying to make that into a private like abode would be pretty difficult because first of all, you gotta assume that metal really takes the audio. So you'll be hearing traffic, you'll be hearing kids screaming if it's by a park. You'll be hearing people like shouting and stuff. You'll be hearing so much ambient noise that insulating that thing would be a bitch. Plus, metal takes heat. It'll be hot as shit in the summer and freezing in the winter because there is probably no real like insulation there. So
I don't know.
plus a lack of plumbing and all
Oh,
that
there's lots
shit.
of plumbing, just probably not the right size.
Not the right type.
Yeah, yeah. Well, right size, right type, that sort of thing. Yeah. But yeah,
Whereas an airplane, really all you got to do is hook up some plumbing and, gas or whatever.
yeah, power, whatnot.
Yeah, you just got to hook it up. It's already got a containment. It's already got at least some plumbing and stuff in there. You just have to hook it up to your water and stuff.
Yeah,
And
and it can be, and you could be moved onto the site. So it's going to be moved onto the site. So you're going to put it where it can be, where it can be plumbed
exactly,
easily. You don't really have that option with a water tower.
exactly. At the
It is where
most,
it is. But
it would be more of a treehouse type thing where you could play in it, although it would be really dangerous. How
anyway,
high up?
well, people have second and third story houses as it is. So I mean, it's not
Yes,
any.
but it's usually interior. You don't have to climb a ladder to get to it, unless you're really weird and breaking in, or you're spider.
Eh. It certainly wouldn't be. It wouldn't be an accessible thing. But that could be in your favor because if you don't want visitors, you just pull up the you make an adjustment to the ladder and just lock down the ladder and nobody can visit you.
And it'd be a nice cardio to get up and get in and out of your house every day.
Yeah, I just hope you never break a leg or something.
Ooh, ouch.
Ah. Although, I mean, it depends because I've climbed up and down a ladder with one leg, so.
Yeah. Anyway,
For-
getting back to the better homes, the a zit. Yeah, the
You see, it was a good episode and we still were able to talk long about it.
well, a good part of it. Um,
Well, you know what I mean. We
yeah,
were able to talk quite a while on a good skit.
but yeah, and why Boise Zoo? I don't know. Again, it's Animaniacs. It's that it's the pitch spork. It's a weird thing thrown in there that's funny. It's just like, oh, that's a little random. It's not super clever random, but it's super clever funny, but it's kind of random funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
It's a cute thing.
I mean, if I had a zit that sexy,
As opposed to the zits you actually have.
actually, funny enough, I haven't had zits in years.
Really?
Yeah,
Even with the masks?
even with the masks.
Damn.
Now, the last zit I had, I was about 13.
Wow. Well, I have an excuse.
Oh, you do you?
Yeah, I'm female.
That is a pretty good excuse.
So moving on to 1001 Narfs. So I'd say that's a pretty effective skip ad device, a skip ad method rather.
Yeah.
Just you don't know, skip ad. Shook. Oh, okay, we'll move on to the story.
Yeah.
And we get a trio with Egwind for about 10 seconds.
He
No.
reminded me a little bit of Snowball.
Yes, Snowball.
The
Until they
terrible,
said his name,
dreaded
I thought he was
snowball.
Snowball.
He reminded me of a less annoying and much shorter lived Larry.
Yes, Larry.
Pinky and the brain and Larry. Like, but thankfully, it's very short lived because the sea monster eats him. It's like
Yes.
then we get back to the dynamic that we know works. and how Brain intends to take over the world with Arabian horses, I don't know. I guess selling them to get the resources he needs to do more of his scheme. Selling them them.
You know how convoluted his schemes are.
Yes. He probably intends to actually take over the world with Jello dessert, but he needs the horses
Made out
first.
of the made out of the bones
No,
of
no,
the
you
horses.
sell the Arabian horses on the black market, get the money, and then you buy the Jello, and then you buy the Jello factory, and then you start producing your hypnotic Jello. And then you use that to take over the country with hypnosis.
My question is, how did she end up being queen?
Sultan? Yeah, that's a little. I don't know how historically accurate it is for a woman to be sultan. Um, Based on the way that women are treated in that region of the world, probably not.
Yeah,
Historically, like you know,
I just as a person, even if that was a dude, how would somebody that
yeah.
hideous?
Well, I mean, you have viziers who would, oh yes, yes, we should, they're the descendant, so they're the ruler in name, but it's a Jafar situation. It's like the real ruler is busying themselves with some distraction while some clever person is running the show in reality.
True, but we didn't see any clever person.
That doesn't mean that they don't exist, though. So, I mean, we're still figuring out. We're asking the question: how does she remain Sultan when she's like that? And we never saw her really make any sultany decisions other than that. But who knows? Uh, but we got the three tales
We
of
love to overanalyze plot devices, don't we?
yes. We got
We really do.
Alibaba Brain, who again, instead of just taking the gold, he's like, I will take the gold, melt it down, turn it into a mirror to make, or you could just have lots and lots of gold and buy
Yes.
whatever you want anyway.
Gold is beautiful.
and very sellable. Or
Yes.
and used for exchange. Oh yes, you want this house? Well, that's going to be quite a load of gold. That's okay. How's this big bag of money?
Kind of reminds me, if you've seen the movie, of the scene in The Count of Monte Cristo, where it's like, "We would like to buy your house. It's not for sale," and he just drops a giant cart of gold and gems. It's like, okay, it's for sale.
Yeah, you have enough gold, you could just even a fraction so small that they wouldn't necessarily notice it in that mountain of gold that he had in there. You would still probably in that era could probably live quite comfortably the rest of your days with if you took enough of it and just yes, I shall go take enough of it and buy myself a nice house with
I like the fact that they with that version of the tale, it kind of went with the classic Aladdin story as opposed to like the Disney Aladdin.
yeah.
Or no, no, it was Alibaba and the 40 Thieves.
Oh, we
One of
had Alibaba, then we had Aladdin, and then we had Sinbad. There were three tales. They weren't told correctly, but
they never are.
yeah, but the this is Pinky and the Brain / Animaniacs. It's not gonna be exactly right. It's gonna be rule of funny.
Exactly.
Like, why does the cave have a captcha? It assumes Pinky is a robot.
Beep boop beep boop boop.
I don't even know
Al-
what a bus is. What is a bus?
Although it is funny because I had just been listening to a Big Finish audio where they were in um they were in that era
Mm-hmm.
and trying to find the keys to time again,
Yeah.
and they they had a cave that had a password. It was Open Simpson, but it was actually a spaceship, not a thing, so it was a robot. And the slave girl is like, who is Al Robot? He's blue. And it's like, oh no, it's because she was Scandinavian, and back in that time, she was a Scandinavian slave, and back in that time, they actually used black and blue as, so it was actually talking about a black person instead of but she says blue. It's like, no, no, he actually was blue.
Yeah, it's. I imagine having not fully read these things. I imagine what Brain is doing is basically trying to tell the story, but Pinky keeps twisting it, and that's where it gets weird.
Yeah.
Like,
Stop it.
for some reason, there's a mermaid now. And
And Miss Sultana with her YouTube level attention span.
yeah, and it's a fun twist as well with the with the genie thing is because most genies in stories they go it's because they're malicious and they're having fun at the expense of whoever their master is at the time, and so they'll take things very literally, or they'll twist your wish into something that you wouldn't actually want. Pinky isn't trying to twist it maliciously. He's just not very bright.
Yeah.
Oh, a staff. Here you go. Like, you didn't get monkey's paws. You just the genie didn't understand what you were saying. But
Oh, that was another thing that they got right that the Disney version didn't. He had unlimited wishes. And he had two genies in the original.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. I don't know. I don't know. Anything else I can think of that I would add on?
Um,
And Cave 123 is the sort of password somebody put on their luggage. An idiot puts on their
Yes,
luggage.
yes. That's the kind of password somebody would put on their some idiot would put on his luggage.
That's my
Remind me
password.
of luggage.
And then
One of these days we should just do a review of Spaceballs.
the Schwartz is strong with this one.
I'm a
Use
joker.
slots.
And then
I
we get
actually on the bus saw somebody wearing Spaceballs the mask.
merchandising.
I was so tempted to be like, oh my gosh, yes, but I was
I'm still waiting for the second movie.
I love your mask, even though I love your mask.
Spaceballs 2: The Search for More Money.
They actually did have a Spaceballs the animated series.
Oh shit.
Of course it did. Merchandising.
It's the guy who voiced Barf was the guy who voiced what's his name? The Bushroot in Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, it's just
That's another thing we should someday review.
Darkwing?
No,
Spaceball.
Spaceballs the animated series.
Oh. Anyway,
Yes.
let's get the last one over.
Yes.
It's been a week since I saw it. What was the last one?
Manny Manspreader.
Oh god. I hated that one.
Yeah, I don't need a you to mansplain manspreading to me. It's like,
Ugh, mansplaining's not a word.
yes,
It is a neologism or whatever it's called.
it
Just
shouldn't
like
be.
it shouldn't be a word, but it
Yeah.
is. Just like
Yeah.
Z and Zem, it's like or
Yeah,
Z
see,
or whatever the
Yeah.
hell. It's like I
yeah.
get that you don't want to use he or she, but that's what they and them are for.
Yeah. No, see,
Gender,
the reason
are gender neutral pronouns without making up words. Like, I am pretty much a gender. Like, I'm a human, honestly, but whatever. I really don't care what you call me
yeah.
as long as it's not one of those made up ones.
No, see, the reason why I hate the term mansplaining is because everybody interrupts and wants to correct you. It's not special to one gender.
Yeah.
Dude, I mansplain more than most men.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the kind of people that use mansplain are the kind of people that I guess we would call womansplain if we're going with that. You know, a woman breaking into somebody talking and saying, "You're no technically." It's like, no,
Yeah.
we don't need your womansplaining. We don't need womansplaining or mansplaining. We don't need it. You know, if
Exactly.
you want to say somebody's being rude, just say they're being rude or they're being interrupting. Because
Yeah.
everybody, both sides of it, they
True.
both interrupt people. They're both rude at times. Not everybody, not all the time, but
And
they do.
women man spread too, and it just is so annoying.
Now, to be fair, how that guy was spraying his legs, that was too much.
That was that.
Like, yeah.
If I were them, I would take a rope, wrap it around his knees, and just pull
No,
until
like
Or,
tied to-
you know, they could have just avoided the whole conflict. Wacko pulls some crates out of out of his bag of everything, and then they just sit on those and watch the movie there.
or just sit on his lap.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
That's
spreading.
what they should have done. They should have just been like, Santa, can I have a puppy?
Like spreading legs is fine, but just like keep it in your area.
Right?
Oh, and on that subject, if you're the type of lady or person, whatever, who complains about a guy spreading their legs slightly when your bags and purses are taking up 2 other seats, fuck off.
When you put your purse on the chair next to you
Yeah,
or your
fuck off.
bag, on the bus, they actually do have places you can put your bag.
Nice.
The free bus actually has an entire shelf right by the door that you can put your bags.
Nice.
But I usually just keep it in my lap because
Yeah.
because I only have one bag, and other people, they're going grocery shopping and they have a whole shit ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like your purse doesn't need an extra seat, lady.
No. And if I don't want to sit by somebody, then I sit in a corner, and yes, I sometimes man spread a little just to block off the one seat, unless it's busy, and then I just stand up and don't sit down in the seat.
Due to COVID, most of our seats are blocked off, so 2 people can't sit next to each other.
Lucky.
Yeah.
The only seats that are blocked off on the buses now are the front, the side seats
Yeah.
right near the driver. All the other seats are open. So I either sit on the edge, so that the seat by the window is empty, or like I said, I just stand up. But I mean, even before that, I just don't like sitting next to people, especially strangers.
I can see that. Oh, speaking of bus, is this seat taken?
Oh my God. And then he doesn't even wait for an answer.
Boom.
It's like, yes, it is taken. Go away.
In short, guys have balls and need to spread their legs a little.
and they incite an entire crowd to attack one another.
Right?
With nothing but lies. It's like, So
That
they're
just-
being divisive with a bunch of misinformation. Where have I seen that before? All while complaining about a man with his legs a little too far apart.
A little
Yep.
too far apart.
Boom.
I'm pretty sure there are porn stars that are jealous about how wide his legs were.
Oh, and how thick.
No, I mean how wide he was able to spread them.
Oh, I know. No, I think they're just mostly upset that he stole one of he stole one of their
Yeah, well,
spots.
this whole I can tell you this much. This whole episode, this whole little part of the episode would have been better if they had dropped the man spreading and just gone with the fact that he took the seat they wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have made this 100% better and 100% funnier. Because then you're not rolling out this tired, annoying thing. You're just like, oh yeah, he took the seat they wanted. Okay, now they can, because that's very much in the rules of who they can mess with. Because they tried being polite. If he was rude in return, that's open the doors, and then he's fair game to do whatever they want to him. And then you could have had a whole business of that. But no, we're gonna bring this into it.
Although, let us not forget that surprise ending that the giant crab was his daughter. Like, oh my god.
It's called character development.
Yeah, whatever.
Seriously, that would have. It's one of those things where you just.
Honestly, I did see that coming.
Of course you did. And I think honestly, the movie was sort of, that was a spitball session. They just like, okay, let's spitball the most actually probable but also most ridiculous movie you could see. Like, The Rock in an action movie action/comedy, on a riverboat. Okay, that's not too crazy. All the elements are things that you might see. They just jumbled all of it together at once, and that's where it got weird. But honestly, this could be a movie. Like, somebody could do that, and it's something
It
The Rock.
actually did sound like an interesting movie, although it's been spoiled for me now, so I don't know if I'd see it.
Yeah, well, we don't know how his daughter turned into the crab, and if they managed to fix it, and how they managed to fix it.
If they managed to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a far more interesting. I'd rather watch a few minutes of them trying to put that together than what they came up with. But yeah, I mean, if you take away the last bit, this is an okay episode.
Yeah.
There's not. It's just stop, please. Just stop. This feels like it was written in 2015.
You kind of remind me of that one meme of that guy holding like the broken giant clock that says "Stop." Stop.
Oh, yeah. It's time to stop. I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember.
I think Filthy Frank, I want to say.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I couldn't think of it for a second, but yeah. It's time to stop. Just stop. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
I think that's good for that.
all right.